She was dead. And he almost lost his daughter too. All because he couldn't swallow his pride. The day of Amara's funeral did not feel real. The sky was dark, even though it was morning. The air felt heavy. People spoke in low voices. Daniel stood beside the coffin. He could see her face one last time. She looked peaceful. Too peaceful. He remembered the night she cried beside him. He remembered the fear in her eyes the night he hit the wall. He remembered her voice saying, "You were supposed to be my safe place." The coffin closed slowly. That sound was loud in his ears. It felt like a door closing forever. When they lowered her into the ground, Daniel felt like he was being buried too. But not in dirt. In regret. After the funeral, Daniel returned home alone. The house was large. Marble floors. High ceilings. Expensive furniture. But it felt cold. He walked into the kitchen. He remembered the way Amara used to hum while cooking. He opened the wardrobe. He saw one of her old dresses still hanging there. He touched it. His hands started shaking. For years, he had wanted to be right. Now he would give anything just to hear her argue with him again. He sat on the floor. For the first time in his life, there was no one to blame. Only himself. Zara moved in with him after her mother's death. She was quiet. Not peaceful quiet. Broken quiet. She walked softly in the house. She spoke softly. She never complained. One night, Daniel heard a glass break in the kitchen. He rushed in. Zara stood frozen. "I'm sorry," she whispered quickly. "I didn't mean to. I'm stupid." Daniel's heart stopped. Stupid. Who told her that? Then he remembered. He had once told Amara she was careless. He had once said, "You always ruin things." Children listen. Even when you think they don't. Zara was carrying words that were never meant for her. One evening, the power went out. The house was dark. They sat in the living room with candles. Zara finally spoke. "Dad, did Mom cry because of you?" The question was simple, but it hit hard. Daniel could lie. It would be easy. But lies built this pain. So he told the truth. Yes. Zara looked down. She used to say love shouldn't feel scary. Daniel closed his eyes. He remembered every time she flinched. He remembered every time he said, "You're overreacting." And now he saw something clearly. He did not just break a marriage. He changed the way his daughter understood love. Weeks later, Daniel noticed Zara wearing long sleeves all the time, even in hot weather. One afternoon, he saw marks on her arm. Not from someone else. From herself. Small cuts. His world stopped. "Why?" he asked, his voice shaking. She started crying. "I feel empty. I feel like I'm too much. Like I ruin everything. Like Mom left because of me." Daniel felt like the walls were closing in. "No. No. Your mother left because I didn't know how to love properly." Zara looked at him. "You always looked angry. I thought that's what strong looks like." Daniel broke. He realized something terrible. His pride had trained his daughter to fear love. Daniel and Zara started therapy together. The first session was quiet. The therapist asked Daniel, "What do you think pride gave you?" Daniel answered slowly, "Control." "And what did it take from you?" Daniel could not speak at first. Then he whispered, "My wife. My daughter's safety. My peace." The therapist nodded. "Pride is often fear. What were you afraid of?" Daniel thought about his father. The shouting. The cold silence. The pressure to be perfect. "I was afraid of being small," he said. Zara looked at him differently that day. Not as a monster, but as a damaged man. Still responsible, but human. One night, Daniel received a phone call. Zara's ex-boyfriend had attacked another girl badly. She was in the hospital. Daniel felt sick. If Zara had stayed with him longer, if she had believed she deserved better, that could have been her. He sat on the floor and cried. Not loud, but deep. He understood something clearly now. Pride does not end with you. It spreads, like poison, from husband to wife, from parent to child, from child to the next relationship. One evening, Zara accidentally burned dinner. Smoke filled the kitchen. She froze, waiting. waiting for anger, waiting for shouting. Daniel walked in. He looked at the burned pot. Then he looked at her shaking hands. "It's okay," he said softly. "We'll clean it together." Zara started crying. "Why aren't you mad?" "Because mistakes are not crimes," he replied. In that moment, something small healed. Not everything, but something. Daniel finally became the safe place. But years too late for Amara. On the second anniversary of Amara's death, they visited her grave again. Daniel knelt down. "I wish I listened," he whispered. Zara placed her hand on his shoulder. "Mom said people can change." Daniel nodded. "Yes, but change is expensive." He looked at the grave. "And I paid with her life." The doctors said stress played a part in her heart condition. Daniel would always wonder, if he had loved her gently, would she still be alive? That question never left him. Time passed. Zara grew stronger. She finished school. She chose healthier friendships. She learned to speak up. Daniel stayed alone. He refused to remarry. Not because he hated love, but because he respected it now. Every night, he looked at Amara's photo. He talked to it. "I finally understand," he would say. But understanding did not bring her back. That was the real punishment. He became the man she prayed for. After she was gone. Pride feels like power, but it is weakness hiding behind fear. It destroys slowly. It does not shout at first. It whispers, "Don't apologize. Don't bend. Don't admit you're wrong." And one day, you wake up alone, and you finally understand. But the person who needed that understanding is no longer there. That is the cost of pride. And it is always higher than you think. Sometimes, the hardest lessons come too late. Learn from them before it's your turn. Subscribe to hear more stories of love, loss, and the cost of pride.